last OPT video, we talked about the OPT timeline so that international students know when to apply for OPT. If you haven't checked it out, the link is right here. In this video, we will be telling you how to get OPT.
So how do you get OPT?
Well, OPT must be recommended by the ISS and approved by the USCIS.
Step 1.
Attend an OPT workshop by the ISS office at least 1 quarter before you graduate.
Depending on your school, you might receive the packet of important OPT information. Step 2. You must gather OPT application materials. Submit the documents needed for your OPT application 90 days before you graduate and keep at least 1 copy of everything you submitted. You need to follow all the instructions on every form. Step 3. Request your OPT. Review your application with the ISS.
ISS will process your OPT paperwork and issue a new OPT I-20 if everything is complete.
Step 4. Mail your application to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. File the application with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services within 30 days of the date designated school official requests OPT in the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System. Recommended mailing options are FedEx or the United States Postal Service. Keep a copy for your mailing receipt. Determine which address to use based on where you live.
If you are moving, ask your designated school official if you can use the ISS office address or ask your trusted friend.
Step 5. Wait for the receipt from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Services will send a receipt to you within a few weeks notifying you the official date your application was received and your case number. Check the status of your application at these websites.
If you receive a request for evidence, RFE, returned application, or denied application, notify ISS.
Step 6. Receive an EAD card. If your application is approved, you will receive your EAD card within about 90 to 120 days. Once your EAD receipt has been issued, OPT cannot be canceled. Start working on the EAD start date. You may not begin working until the start date on your card. You are allowed a total of 90 days of unemployment during your 12-month OPT period. It begins on the start date of your EAD card and includes weekends.
Keep track of your days of unemployment. If you exceed 90 days, you may be denied future immigration benefits.
Once you have your EAD, do not cross a U.S. border without obtaining a job. You may not be allowed to re-enter the U.S., and you may be considered as abandoning your request for OPT. To avoid risk, it is recommended that you remain in the U.S. while your application is pending, and you should not travel once OPT has been applied for and until you obtained your EAD and job. Carry an employer travel letter while crossing a border after you have secured employment.
If you travel outside the U.S. after receiving your EAD card, you must have your OPT I-20 form signed by the ISS within the last 6 months, as well as a valid passport and F-1 visa, a valid EAD card, and evidence of current employment/job offer letter. Consult ISS before you travel to discuss risks. Step 7. Report to ISS. Submit a photocopy of your EAD card to ISS.
You are required to report any changes to your non-immigration status, employment status, telephone number, address, name, or email immediately within 10 days of the change. Once you find/change a job or volunteer position, report this information to your designated school official. The information is as follows: company's name and address, the supervisor name, telephone number, and email address, your job title, your job description, the date you start working, if the position is full-time or part-time, a short statement of how the employment is related to your major, as well as your employment identification number or EIN. Report to your designated school official 6 months into OPT and 2 weeks prior to OPT completion. You must report your employment at the Student and Exchange Visitor Program portal during the OPT period. If you do not report your practical training/employment, the U.S. government will terminate your F-1 SEVIS record 90 days after the OPT start date on your EAD card and require you to leave the U.S. Step 8. Stop working after your end date. After your OPT end date on your EAD card ends, you must discontinue employment immediately. You will have a 60-day grace period that allows you to do the following. 1. Exit the country. 2. Be accepted to and begin a new program of study by the next available quarter or semester or within 5 months, whichever is sooner. Or 3. Change to a new visa status. You are free to travel inside the United States, but you should not expect to be able to return to the U.S. if you leave. Summary. Step 1. Attend an OPT workshop. Step 2. Gather OPT application materials. Step 3, request your OPT. Step 4, mail your application to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Step 5, wait for the receipt from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Step 6, receive your EAD card.
Step 7, report to ISS.
Step 8, stop working after your end date. Bolaire hopes that this information has helped you and made your path towards employment an easier one. And we leave you with one very important question. What did you learn today?
Learn more about everything you'll need to apply for OPT in the next video.